farm, raise the alarms. This is fight farm, how long are your arms? This is fight farm, breaking your jaw. This is fight farm all night long. Catch a sweet chin music and knock the fuck out. Catch a sweet chin music, go rock the fuck out. Catch a sweet chin music and knock the fuck out. Catch a sweet chin music, go rock the fuck out. Put your money where your mouth is. So get your chin ripped from your mouth, bitch. This ain't for the lighthearted. Make y'all give up before the fights even started. Seeing stars from a spinning back fist to your noggin. Head kick, knock off your dome. Watch it roll with it toboggan. It's fight for bitch. Watch your holler and go ahead and place your bets. Probably go holler, cause somebody in this motherfucker by the end of the night gonna be falling lights out. Call the ambulance to get here before the fight's out. Somebody might be dying, but hopefully not. The vodka, hopefully hot, and I'm feeling properly spicy. Let's fucking go. This is fight farm, raise the alarms. This is fight farm, how long are your arms? This is fight farm, breaking your jaw. This is fight farm all night long. Catch a sweet chin music and knock the fuck out. Catch a sweet chin music, go rock the fuck out. Catch a sweet chin music and knock the fuck out. Catch a sweet chin music, go rock the fuck out.
What is up, guys? Chris from Fight Farm, and we have UFC. Actually, did I fucking put 312? I may have put 312. Let me see which UFC it is. So, we just wrapped up. God damn it, I may have put the wrong UFC down. I did. So, we just wrapped up UFC 312. This is actually going to be minting NFTs for UFC 313. Uh, so for 313, I could have did multiple fights, but I really want to focus on the karate combat stuff a little bit more over the next month or so. So we may do an airdrop for the Cejudo fight to the people who hold the NFTs pegged to Henry Cejudo, V1 and V2. I have a feeling this could be possibly Cejudo's last fight. And to kind of wrap that up, I might just airdrop a V3 to the holders of the original ones. Of course, not everyone can have enough to mint a legend NFT, but it'll be cool to get the last one, right? So we're probably going to bypass that fight. I would rather save the rewards pool build up to go towards UFC 313. So UFC 313, we're going to have Alex Pereira versus uh, Ankalaev. And man, that's going to be a hell of a fight. I mean, how often do you see Alex Pereira as the underdog? Not often, right? You're talking about the light heavyweight champ coming into this fight as an underdog. So let me find my display. And these are going to be Stone Fist, which is pegged to Alex Pereira. And we will that'll be a V5, I believe. We've done quite a few. We caught the Alex Pereira wave right as he was becoming pretty popular in UFC. We caught that wave, and man, he's been active. He's been on fire, and he's been one of those people that the demand was there for those NFTs pegged to him. So we do have some Stone Fist NFTs that are going to be minted. We also have the Ankle of NFTs, and of course, let me find these NFTs really quick. There we go. All right, so Let me make sure, first of all, did I number them correctly because I put 312. So, Ruski will be the NFT. You can see here, here's the V1. We'll have multiple versions of this edition. So, anyone that wants can pick up this version. We will have the one of one, which will be the .5 here. So, this is going to be the first one of one that we have. So not bad looking NFTs. I made sure I put he's Dagestani, so I made sure I got a kind of a version of the Dagestani flag colors in the background, kind of on a chipped concrete wall kind of look. And then for Alex Pereira, we had the V5. This is the regular edition right here for Stone Fist. And then for the V1, man, I went all out on this one. This is a bad motherfucker right here. So the V5.5, the one of one, is going to have the war paint in the background. We've all seen Alex in the war paint. So excited to get these minted. Let me get on over to the OmniFlix studio, to the asset library, and we will get started. So first things first, let me get the one of ones. Actually, let me get all the Pareas done, I guess, at first. So if you're not used to using OmniFlix, I realize a lot of people don't understand why we chose OmniFlix. It's more of a multimedia based blockchain than technically than an actual NFT. It's not like Stargaze. Stargaze was pretty much NFTs only with some things that supported it, like a Dex, And of course, it looks like they may be migrating. So the whole app chain thesis may be kind of fading out, and that it looks like they may migrate over to the Cosmos Atom Hub, which would be great, right? Um, but the reason I chose OmniFlix over almost anywhere in Cosmos, and really, dude, almost anywhere in Web3, because you hear the terminology. Uh, you hear the terminology. You hear the terminology thrown around a lot. For NFTs, the goal to make it easier for newbies coming into crypto to be able to mint, to create a collection and mint NFTs and manage the collection and manage the payments and manage the royalties. Um, it can be very, very tricky. It has gotten easier over time compared to the last couple of years, but everyone's looking for a way to do it like a no code way because your average person's not a coder, right? Um, so we hear that terminology all the time. Oh, no code NFTs, no code collections. We're a no code NFT platform. NFTs, them to do these things without a trade off, or it's so early they haven't done these things without trade offs. Now, I won't say that there's zero trade offs for what the way I do my personal collection on OmniFlix, but what I will say is even on OmniFlix, you don't have to do it my way. You can still have the traditional let's host it, let's mint it. The reason I chose OmniFlix, though, honestly, was they gave me the option to have a no code, GUI based, drop down menu based ability to mint a collection. And not only to create the collection and mint to it, to mint on demand. Because if you think about it, if you're one of those collections where you're going to mint out, meaning you mint 5,000 or 2,000 or 10,000 and you mint out and you're done. That's it for the collection. Okay. A lot of the traditional NFT models might work well for you. If you're doing something in sports or entertainment or any type of episodic content, which is effectively what I'm doing something based on episodic content, constant new versions being minted every single fight, right? If I just sold you some NFTs that were pegged to UFC fighters or MMA fighters and you built a game around it, that's cool, but you'd be pretty limited on what you can do. And I've seen a ton of these NFTs come and go that were not officially licensed UFC NFTs that tried to get you to buy like their generic version of a fighter, and they were going to host all these things, all these empty promises. We don't do that at Fight Farm. We actually sell you NFTs and we give you a reason to keep coming back for more. And in order to do that, that means every time I mint a new NFT for a new fighter, or it can be for the same fighter, but it's a new version. So you're getting new artwork, you're getting a new version. It's kind of like a collectible trading card game where I want you to collect all the versions. It's like Pokemon or Hearthstone, or when you collect baseball cards, basketball cards. Like you just don't be like, yo, I've got the Kobe, I've got the LeBron, I've got the Jordan. I don't need another one. No, you're trying to get a card for every year. You're trying to get the tops, the Fleer, this version, this brand, that brand. And over time, these things have went digital. And the problem with NFT collections a lot of times are they want to just sell you something and then that's it, right? Or sometimes the tech itself, the collection itself, it limits you. So you can only set it up to mint until it mints out, and that's it. You can't keep adjusting the collection, right? Or if you can, it's very difficult and very painful to do so. So that's the beauty of having a GUI drop down menu based no code studio is I can mint on demand going into every fight. I can add as many fighters or as many versions per fighter as I want. I can add as many NFTs as I want. I can mint as many as I need. I might just mint, if I'm selling on average 25 to 30 NFTs per fighter per fight, I might just mint out between 40 or so, right? Well, what happens if I only sell 6 or 12? I can burn them. And here's the beauty of it. I can create all of these new NFTs and I can send them to the same contract address. Some people may not care about that, but if you're doing anything with a DAO, you kind of need it to have all the same contract address. You need them all to be associated. Because if not, what you end up with is a bunch of collections. Now, over time, will this morph? Yeah, I was talking to someone the other day that's doing something on a different chain. They're building uh, a no code studio as well. And the way they want to manage the addresses is almost like if my fighters all had their own address, and then they had like parent child relationships where maybe Stonefist had like an address to manage him as a fighter, almost like it was his own collection. And then under that, you could have like every version of Stonefist could have its own collection ID, and all of those could be under an umbrella of a Fight Farm collection ID. So those things will morph and build over time. We've seen that with DAOs. We've seen that with a lot of things in crypto. And when you look at like Web 2 or you look like traditional IT world, those type of structures typically make sense and they function well. So um, let's see. Let me go ahead and get this down. So yeah, what I was saying was is like that's one reason why we chose uh that's one reason why we chose OmniFlix was because of the ability to mint them all to the same collection address. We also wanted to have the ability to base the DAO on a single collection address. And, you know, maybe OmniFlix doesn't have the most volume or the biggest collections, but guess what? ICS 721 is here. Not only can we go cross chain to multiple chains inside Cosmos, to multiple platforms, to multiple DAOs on different chains, all these NFTs, like you're gonna have your home chain where you mint, and in some cases, like if you use Arc protocol, you can just have mints two different chains, right? Where you have like say 6 possible chains, and you can mint to your NFT to whatever your favorite chain is, right? But in my case, it's like, hey, we're minting them to OmniFlix because of the style of studio. and collection management that I want. And then if I want to list them, I don't have to list them on the chain that I minted on. I can easily send them across chain. Man, did I just do that? 1 minute ago. Okay. So let me do this one. PNG. Download. Then let me go up here and get Ruski 313 1.5. So yeah, man, I'm glad to get these minted out. I'm gonna get them minted and listed today. And super happy to get these things out. We are working on the payouts for the UFC 312 NFTs. Um, as predicted, some of these people are not staking to the DAO. And while that is bad for them, the people who are staking the NFTs to the DAO, they get all the rewards. So if you don't have your NFTs staked on Fight Farm, make sure you figure out where to go. Come to our Telegram, hit me up on X at Fight Farm NFT. If you have questions, I can point you in the right direction. But we want you to get your NFTs staked, right? Because the only way you can earn from the rewards pool based on the outcome of the fight is if you are staked to the DAO. And right now, there's about 50%. Now, some fighters are more widely staked than others across all the different versions. But when we look at Hard Knocks, who was pegged to Drykus DDP over this last weekend, I believe we had around 50% of all the different NFTs for his version staked. I can't remember if it was slightly over or slightly under, but nonetheless, when my partner sent me back the addresses to do the payouts, I was a little bit shocked at how low because the previous fight, some of the previous fights, we actually had some really, really high percentages on specific fighters staked. So, yeah, I'm not sure what causes people. It could just be like sometimes you're in a hurry and you buy the NFT and you forget to go stake it, or you think I'll do it later. Ooh. But nonetheless, we'll get those paid out very, very soon. And for now, just take a quick look. So we're sitting at about 2007 total NFTs. Total volume dollar wise is a little bit off because that's not right. We have like $2,800 in stable coins, 44 also in USDC, about 18,000, almost 19,000 Flix tokens that have gauged anywhere between 5 cents and 45 cents over time. So I'm not sure how they pull their total volume or what the metric for that is. Also thought floor price was a little bit wonky. Um, as far as I know, when I scroll through here, like the cheapest, actually I know what it is on that because from an IST's perspective, the cheapest floor price is $5, right? But when you put some of these ones like in Flix, and there are some for sale in Flix, and the ones that could be, we did have some for sale in Spice. But yeah, they kind of skew the floor price just a little bit based on that. So still not a bad deal. Which they got Flix as the 75 as the floor price and 14 for IST, but there's no way that the lowest one right now is 14 IST. I guess it could be because these are all the previous NFTs I went through this morning and deleted and burned what was left from Hard Knocks and the Cook. So if you had missed out on buying that version for the ones pegged to DDP or Sean Strickland, they are no longer available. or if you want them, you got to pay the upper price. Now, what was funny about this one is both of these guys have had good sales leading into this rematch between them. And for some reason, I don't know if it was like me getting caught up with all the karate combat stuff. I also had some outside of crypto, real life things that were distracting me. So I don't know if it was a lack of me just not promoting as much, or people just not paying attention, or they just don't like Hard Knocks or the Cook. But yeah, this was the first time in a very long time. Actually, this was the first time ever where both of the V1 first edition one of ones didn't sell. We sold quite a few of the regular editions here at that $5, $6 price point, I think. But these were listed at like 15 bucks at the time. So as usual, the V1s or the special editions always get marked up to about 120, and the remaining two regular editions have been set at 99 bucks. We do have some Bisca NFTs for 50, so those are a pretty good deal. And they are the video versions. Uh, they are the video versions. Um, yeah, as I scroll through here, it's about standard of what you'd see. I thought it was interesting that someone threw up a fireman and a bone breaker for about 200 bucks each. That is the final two, especially for the fireman because uh, you know that fighter retired, and that NFT will be eventually burned to mint a uh, that NFT will be burned to mint a legend NFT. All right, guys, just got a phone call, so it's about time for me to head out. But before I do, let me come back over. I do want to make sure that I get the files uploaded very quickly. And then when I get back later on this afternoon, I'm going to make sure I mint. So that was that one. And you can see how easy the file upload is. Like I could go through there and select multiples. I can drag and drop. I really enjoy how easy it is to upload the media, whether it's audio, video. And then once you see it right here, it starts to populate, right? Then this is in the non minted assets on the asset library. Of course, you can browse the collections and different NFTs and listed and auctions. But whenever you use the file upload here, it says upload audio or video or images from your device. It's pretty easy to drag and drop. Let me go ahead and refresh really quick so you can see them. So now that I got them in my studio, I should be able to come back and mint them. Of course, the way this works is this regular V1 right here is going to be multiple editions. So editions 2 through however many we mint, whether it's 5, 10, 20, 30, whatever. Whereas this one is going to be the 1.5. This will be the one of one. It'll be the first edition. So it's going to be the Ruski Dash 1. It will be a one of one. Only one person will get to buy this one. This one's going to be $5. This one's going to be about $15, maybe 12. I might go a little bit lower this time since those last V1s didn't sell at 15, which is very rare because they usually pull between 12 and 20 bucks. And I thought based on the Spice editions that they would pull 15 easy. Uh, Usually the only way we're going to make more than say 15 to 20 bucks on the ones that I create are going to be the ones where we do collaborations with other artists. And of course, these last few I didn't do any collaborations with. I do have some collabs that I'm lining up for future editions. Then we come over here. This will be the regular version for Stonefist. This is his V5. So this will have multiple editions, dash two through however many we sell. Whether it's, I think if you look back through Stonefist on average, I believe we have around maybe 10 to 12 per version. There it seems like one version where we did a collab was slightly higher than the rest. Um, And then, of course, this one's probably going to be the one that sells immediately. I have a feeling because anytime you talk about Alex Pereira and you see the lead up to his fights and you see a lot of the backstory and then you see him in the makeup and getting ready, man, he's just a very cool character. And I wanted to capture that style in these NFTs. So for Stonefist, we did some of the traditional face paint. So this is the V1. This will be the Stonefist dash one for the V5 version. So this is the dot five. This one will be probably listed at $15, maybe 12. And I'll have these up tonight, and we will start pushing these out. If you're not aware, this is going to be Saturday, March the 8th, will be UFC 313. Like I said, we are going to see on February the 22nd, you'll see Henry Cejudo versus Song Yadong. And I don't know, man. Could he win this fight? Maybe. I mean, Song is 21-8 with one no contest. If he's going to pull off a W, I would say this would be the one. And what better way for him to retire than to go out with a win, right? Now the question is if he gets the W, will he retire? But after the last fight being a loss, the question is, actually, was his last fight a loss? I think it was. I'll have to go check and see. But I'm almost certain that it was a loss. And I was thinking that because he lost his comeback, I think, and his second fight, that would be it, right? And sure enough, he didn't do it. I remember watching a video on YouTube of him afterwards or Twitter or something, and he was sitting in a hot tub in a dark room talking about how this just wasn't how he wanted to go out. I wish I could find that video. Either I was really on some drugs during that time or with a vivid imagination or that really happened. But nonetheless, excited to see the legend Henry Cejudo fight. But I don't think I'm going to host this. I don't know that I want to create an NFT pegged to Song. And overall, I don't know that there's any more fights specifically on this card. I mean, you have Edson Barboza fighting, Curtis Blades, but overall, the only reason I would tune in for this one in particular would be to see Cejudo, and I probably will watch that main event. But I don't think we're going to do that. We'll probably airdrop some NFTs pegged to Cejudo to previous owners. And sorry, guys, I'm yawning. I didn't take my nap today. I was up super duper late last night and then super duper early this morning. So I think now that it's 4:30, I'm like, man, I should have took a nap. But anyways, guys, UFC 313. We will get the NFTs for this event out and get them listed. That gives you, it is February the 11th. So we have about 4 weeks of promotion on this one. I'm going to try not to ignore it. I mean, we do have Karate Combat coming up on the last day of the month for KC 53. Super excited to see Arturo fight again against Jesus Lopez. And dude, this card is going to be a banger. They're going to be at ETH Denver. I'm pretty sure the IFC is coming back. So I got to get out of here. I will see you guys very, very soon. Thank you for tuning in. And I'm going to get this uploaded over on OmniFlix TV. And I will see you guys very, very soon. Make sure you like my post. Make sure you share my pin post. I want to fight in the IFC. I have someone in mind. We've been talking on Twitter, and I've been talking to someone with the IFC over on X, and I think I can make this happen. And it probably would be a fight for about 150. The guy's kind of light. He's a little bit shorter than me. I'm a big 150, but I can definitely make that weight if I have to. And maybe we could talk him to come up. Maybe there could be a catch weight at 155, 160. But nonetheless, if I need to do 150 to get my foot in the door, I'll do it. because I do have one person at 150 I would love to get in there and bang with. And yeah, guys, make sure you follow me. Big things coming. We will be on Omniflix TV. That could be dependent on what goes on with Scott and Bell because they will be in East Denver for their own project, and we're going to see how that works out between them and Karate Combat for the live stream. But nonetheless, we will have our watch party. Thank you for everyone that follows us. Definitely check out our stuff over on Omniflix TV. Fill out the questionnaire if you want to be eligible to win part of the $250 worth of karate tokens, Fight Farm NFTs, or flicks. Peace, guys. We'll see you later.